Some of the best minds in the world bringing you some of the best knowledge on TRS Clips. How did you have the guts to kind of co-found OnePlus when you were that young? Like, I want to know about, what went on inside your head. You didn't doubt yourself at all. You just went for it.
Yeah, I've been looking back at myself, I think I have ideas and I just try them. You know Naruto, right? You have
Yeah,
some
of
Dragon Ball
course.
stuff. When YouTube just came out, there was the content moderation was pretty weak, and there were a lot of people uploading the latest Naruto episodes and putting English subtitles on them. So I was like, hey, why isn't there a way of just embedding these videos on a website and offering people to watch them whenever they want to with subtitles? So I just tried that. And we had a newsletter every week. You get an email, a new episode to watch. We didn't upload it ourselves. Somebody else uploaded. We just embedded the video. And it got really popular. But many, many examples. It's like a 1-month project. Built a website, grew the traffic, the ad revenue, sold it. And then I look at other kids today, and I realized that it's kind of abnormal. I didn't know that it was abnormal back then. I remember in physics class, we had to write an essay about some chemical. And instead of doing that, one time I made a music video, I think, explaining that chemical. And another time I made a website, interactive website, where it was animated and stuff. And thinking back, that's also really, really strange.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that back then. And I was really surprised that the teacher didn't give me any credit. She was like, oh, that's cool. And she graded it just like an essay. So I think just have an idea and go for it.
And executing on it without
Yeah.
thinking much.
Yeah.
So there was this sort of quest for money. There was inspiration from Naruto. You have an idea, you execute, and then OnePlus was just one of the execution processes in your journey.
So so what led me there was growing up in Sweden. On the news, you could always hear about the Chinese economy growing, and I had no exposure to any of that. So I was like, okay, I gotta go there and see. And after high school, I took a gap year. I don't know if it's normal to do gap years here.
Not at all.
Okay, and my parents were kind of confused as well. Like, what are you gonna do? Can you show me your 12-month plan? Where are you gonna be every month? I'm like, no, I don't know. So I went there and started exporting my own stuff. I went to the electronics market, bought and sold online, and this plus the fact that I've been also a tech fan from early days, like the Walkman, the iPod, and all of that. I saw that the smartphone industry was also just starting in China. And it's not a purely opportunistic thing, because I really like tech products.
It was also passion driven.
Yeah. And I was really unhappy in my uni. And now thinking back, it was really arrogant. But so I did all my courses. I didn't write my thesis. And the excuse I gave myself was I didn't learn anything. So in case I get famous in the future, the school shouldn't get any credit. And the reason why I felt I didn't learn anything was, okay, I went to supposedly the best business school in the country. E-commerce was growing. A lot of people were shopping online. We learned nothing about e-commerce. If you look at all the top brands that became top brands in the last 10 years, Amazon, Microsoft, etc., they're all tech companies. So I'm like, and we learn nothing about tech or tech companies or startups. So I'm like, okay, this is the best business school, but we learn nothing about where the future of business is going. So that was my excuse to not write my thesis. Instead, I was at home playing League of Legends. And then I just had this idea that I go to Silicon Valley or I go to China. Silicon Valley, because back then Facebook had just started a couple of years ago. It was growing really quickly. A lot of consumer internet companies were starting. And there was this incubator called Y Combinator. One of my friends, he's not young anymore, but he used to be the youngest entrepreneur who got in. I was really inspired to go there. And then it just happened that I got a job offer in China. So again, I took the lazy route. Job offer versus having to write an application. Okay, let's just take the opportunity that's the easiest. So I moved there. It was a company called Meizu, gave me the offer, wanted me to help them become a more global company, international marketing and all that. And I knew them because I bought the first iPod, and it was really annoying to buy it because Sweden is not a big market, so you don't get the products first. It takes a long time to order, and it had the FireWire port. I don't know if you know what that is. Like, it's a really long time ago.
Yeah. Like when you used to crack phones, you needed.
No. It's not USB. It looks like USB, but it's Apple's proprietary port.
No, I was too young for this,
Yeah.
Mr. Pei. No, we'll go on.
So I had a PC. I bought the iPod. I couldn't connect it because the port wasn't on the PC. So I had to buy another like PCI card, dismantle my PC, install that to connect the iPod. And that thing took a lot of shipment time as well. So I waited for so long to use iPod. And then 1 week after the 1-year warranty had
Gotten done.
gotten done, it broke down, and Apple didn't help me. So I was like, I'm gonna destroy these guys one day. So I was really angry at that time, but I'm a big Apple fan today.
Yeah. But
So-
how does it feel when you're actually doing that? You're actually creating a worldwide competitor, and that's what the narrative is also about nothing.
We're like a insect today compared
Right
to where
now.
they are.
Have you seen Game of Thrones? You know where those dragons
No,
are
I
literally
haven't, I
little?
haven't.
Okay, no mind. Some of the listeners just got
I
the
tried,
reference. You're building a dragon. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but they've already become a dragon, right? We're still an insect, so it's the beginning, step by step.
Okay.
So yeah, I got the opportunity to join Meizu because I built a fan community for them after my iPod broke. That's the next MP3 player that I bought, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So through building that fan community, it got quite big. I think we had like 70,000 users. In today's internet, that's not very big, but like, I don't know, many years ago, that was a lot of users
Yeah,
because the internet.
2011?
No, way before that. 2006,
7.
7, yeah. The internet was smaller, the total amount of users. And that community got featured on LA Times. So I've been reflecting upon these things, and it's like all my opportunities, none of them were job postings on career websites. They were all like one thing leads to another, or I just do something and something happens. So I guess that's the message that I wanted to convey. Similar to OnePlus, I reached out to Oppo vice president on Chinese social media, just DM, and we met up, and he hired me into Oppo, and then I helped start OnePlus when he started OnePlus.
When you look back at everything that you guys did with OnePlus, I remember being in India and there was so much hype about the brand and there was so much hype about the phone launches. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Did you realize that this is what would end up happening? I'm assuming that 70,000 person community that you built out was a very big lesson for you. And you kind of put community first when it came to this brand as well. Am I right in saying that?
Maybe in the back of my mind, but when we started OnePlus, it wasn't that strategic. Like, the internet is so popular with Facebook back then, you can talk to everybody all around the world. So why not make it a very kind of online and digital thing and make it very community driven, because you can connect people online. So it wasn't like, oh, because this thing happened, then we had a very well thought out community plan. That wasn't the case at all.
When you look back at the journey, what do you think were the right moves? In fact, I'm sure there was like a lot, but if you had to like highlight 3 right moves from that whole journey, what would it be?
We watched Fight Club. A lot of our early campaigns were also quite You had to smash your phone to be able to buy the first OnePlus phone, etc. We're trying to capture some of those, some gems or some nuggets from that Fight Club ethos. I think we're all emotional creatures. We're not 100% rational, so you got to believe in something. And if you're just selling product to make some money, I think people will see through that, and it's kind of boring. There's too many brands like that. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people got attracted to OnePlus. Like, this brand was trying to do something differently. I think we also got really lucky that we work with this team in Seattle called Cyanogen. Because back then, Android manufacturers wouldn't really support their devices. They would launch products and stop updating. So there were a lot of third-party people on forums making custom software that you could flash, and then you could get updates on your phone. And this was one of those teams. They had just incorporated to a company, and we collaborated. And they already had a huge fan base of techies, tech enthusiasts. And by working with them, we just brought all their community over to ours from the very beginning. I think that was really helpful as well. And I think at the end, you say that people were kind of hyped about the product, but that's because the reviews were good. Like, there were a lot of media reviews, and they said great things about the product. And the reason for that is because the product was good. So there's no shortcut. You're a product company, you got to ship good product. At the end of the day, without a good product, I mean, if all the media reviews were terrible, then there wouldn't be any hype, right?
Wow. There's a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this, taking down notes. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Happy to help.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the entire episode and also check out this playlist that we've curated just for you.